Welcome in, everyone. This is Jason from First Gear Network, bringing you round 8 coverage of the First Gear Racing IndyCar Series here at the Milwaukee Mile. Glad to have you all with me this evening. We are prepared for 200 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile. So far, we've got 11 drivers that have joined into the 9th session. Got another 12 minutes of practice before we get to qualifying. Right now, the 60 Jonathan Hammer up at the top of the charts. The fastest lap in practice so far. 22.58. I'm going to assume that's probably qualifying trim, but heck, you never know. Second currently is going to be Nate Fields at 57. P3 is Sheridan Wade. He's not on track currently. P4, 35, Corey Crandall. We see the 46 going a little slow there with the rear wing bopping around. Those guys pass by him. Ooh, here's some tire noise. Some tires get loose on some of these cars. Go back a little bit here. Charles Bronstein in the 98 is 5th currently. Trevor Benz 6th in the 33 car. And then we've got 7th place Corey Kobe in the 86. Some of these guys are putting in a lot of laps. Corey Crandall has run 31 laps in practice. Next up, Jonathan Hambrick 23 and Charles Bronstein 24 laps. Corey is working on his 23rd lap now. Oh, pulls it off. So stop at 22 for now. Fair enough. Edwin James is currently 8th on the board. Ben Summerford is out on track. He's currently 9th in the 32 machine. Joseph Klein in the 14 is 10th currently. And Mark Allett in the 80 is 11th. Follow along with the Turtle Man here. Milwaukee is definitely a sandpaper-like track. Looks like guys are getting together for a little pit party here. We're going to have to follow along with this. This is kind of just a little test, see how the cars are going to act in race conditions at the start of the race. Everybody feel things out. Milwaukee's definitely an older track. Of course, like sandpaper, cheese grater style. An older asphalt. The lower line in the corners does have a newer layer of asphalt. Trevor gets going. Here we go. See how the field works itself out here. 3 wide back there, further back in the pack. Trevor gets loose. 3 wide up front. It's at the 35. This purple wheel is Corey Crandall. It's at the point of this pack. They come into turn 1. A lot of different lines you can run here. I'd say depending on how your car is turning, obviously that's going to change as the night goes on. If I recall, as much from last year, really had like 2 really distinctive lines that were pretty quick around here. But you saw cars running more than just those 2 lines, so just depending on how the car is driving and handling, probably see a mixture of a little bit of everything tonight. Jump in the cockpit here with Trevor Benz. See what he's seeing, hear what he's hearing. Tires sliding in the corner. Downshifting down to third in the center of the corner. Oh, she's loose, she's loose. He keeps it off the wall. Heck of a save by the 33. Well done, sir. I don't know about that third gear, though. Keep that baby in fourth. I don't know. Car seems super uneasy. Just to kind of show us a report of kind of what we're looking for tonight. I'm going to pull up our race info box for everybody. This will give us kind of a telltale of what the weather's looking like. So ambient temp 76 degrees tonight with a low humidity 24%. Partly cloudy skies. It doesn't seems like the sun's out more than the clouds currently, and then an 8-mile-an-hour breeze, so that could play a factor in tonight's race with that wind. These cars can get very aero tight, aero loose based off of which way the wind's blowing. If you're heading into a corner and that wind hits you just right, so that's going to be something to look out for. Track temperatures at 104 degrees, so it's definitely slick out there. We've seen it hotter though, so that's not terrible. I'd say that's pretty close to optimal grip. Anything between 80 and 100 is probably your most optimal in these cars. Anything colder than 80 degrees or above 100 is where you start to see the loss of grip. So this is pretty close. And it's an exact 1-mile track. So tonight we will log 200 miles, running 200 laps here. I'll go ahead and kick that off the screen for y'all. Ooh, man. I tell you what, he is letting it hang. Trevor Benz out here slipping and sliding and doing everything to save this car. Heck of a drive in practice, so can't wait to see what happens during the race. Really finding the edge though, using this session to really drive this car, push it to its limits, find out what it can do. Great time to do it. Oh, I bet the car's got to feel great in Q trim. That light fuel load, oh, got to feel like money. Jonathan chats there in the chat here. I just got to make it feel that good in race trim, because that's where it's going to matter for 200 laps, Jonathan. Definitely seems to be really just on edge for Trevor. Able to save it every time, but definitely getting the workout. Looks like Corey kind of dropped back to the back here. I don't know if he just wants to see what the car feels like in dirty air, because it's a whole different beast with the slipstreams these cars give. You do get a draft, a pull off of each other, but the dirty air, the way it hits your car, woo, Trevor sideways, side by side, and still is saving it. That's pretty cool. Got just 4 minutes left to practice here, and we're still sitting at 11 cars in the field. Ooh, maybe a touch of the wall there for Trevor. This has been a good test between these guys. This is one of the longer, what you want to call pit parties or group runs that we've seen in practice here for a while. Now, not everybody's in it, but these 5-6 guys that are kind of still in this pack kind of been together here. They started all together about the same time, so. That's what I like to hear. Be up there, Johnson. Good luck to you tonight. outlet of guys coming off the track now. Maybe it's time to try one more qualifying session setup or qual run just to feel the cars out, maybe, is what these guys are doing. This is as close as you're going to get to the conditions we'll see in qualifying. That starts in 2 minutes. 2 minutes real time, and then when the session ends, going to qualifying usually just bumps 10 minutes into the future. So it is a little bit of a time change in the same time, but I guess the track should be somewhat similar. Ben's up there kissing that wall in the back stretch. See the car get loose, get just uneasy in the center of the corner. Try to get back on the power. The car's like, hold on a minute now, I wasn't ready. Now between practice times here for the session, we're looking at, what, a second, 1.2 second gap between first and 11th, so basically just over a second gap, under a second gap between the top 10. Practice is wrapped up, checkered flags out. Now it's time to go to qualifying. We'll see who they kick out on track, who jumps out first. 2-lap session, best laps count. First one to jump in their car is Ben and Mark. Mark is rolling though. Mark likes to get it done and over with early. He does that in every series we race in. He wants to get that qualifying lap over with and get it done. Corey Crandall, Ben Summerford. Those are the first three. Looks like they're coming out on track. One out lap here, one warm up, and then they're going to come around here. Green flag to Mark. First 2 laps are live. Here we go. Kind of seemed a little bit slower there maybe. Coming on a 4. Being very mindful of the car, the tires, the grip. You got to reset after the weekend of driving GTP in the 24-hour. Takes a little bit to reset. So Corey on lap 1 to the top, 22.99. See if he can improve. He's definitely better in sector 1 on the second lap. Sector 2 a little wide out of 4. Still good speed. 22.57. That's going to put him up to the top currently. Trevor Benz is on his second lap. See what he does, a 22.62. Pretty close for Mr. Benz. Corey Covey comes in his first lap, 23.18. Gonna put in P3. See what he does on the second lap here. Gets right down on the curb, entering 3, a little wide out of 4 though. Is it better? Yes, 22.74, still keeps him P3. Charles Bronstein's out on track. Should be coming to get the flag. Green flag for Charles, here he goes. Joseph Klein's also out on track. We'll get to him here in a second. Watch Charles' first lap time, see where that kind of puts him. Out of 4, cross the line. 23.12 for Charles, going to put him P4 currently. Joseph is coming around to start his lap. It's lap 1. So we'll see Charles come around for his lap 2. Looks like Edwin's just coming out on track. See, where does Charles get on this second lap? 23.03, stays 4th. Joseph Klein out of turn 4. Lap 1. 23.61. See this lap 2 come around here. Oh, I was going to check in on Edwin. Looks like he had to reset, possibly. Klein goes up to P5 with a 23.24. All right, Edwin. I think he had taken the green, so his first lap is going to be his warm-up lap. What I'm seeing, Nate Fields is on track as well, or coming off pit road on his out lap. So we're going to see one good lap from Edwin here. He gets one lap here coming across the line. This is the only one that's going to count. Oh no! Lose again. Lock it up. All right, keeps it off the line. Reset to pits, try it again. Nate Fields is doing the same thing. We just showed him coming up pit road, and here he comes again. Still got 5 minutes left of qualifying. 7 drivers have timed in. We've got 4 that have not. Nate, Edwin, Jonathan, and Sheridan are the only 4 drivers that have not gone in a time yet. But both Nate and Edwin are trying. Edwin's going to try again for his second lap, I believe. I don't know how it's going to do it here. Let's see. Alright, it's recording it as another lap on my ticker, so we'll see how that works. Looks like Edwin and Nate are going to come across the line pretty close to each other. Edwin P7, Nate P4. Sheridan is out on his out lap. He's taking the green. We're going to watch Nate's second lap here. You hear them tires working going into turn 3. These guys are really aggressive on trying to get that car to turn, and it's going into the corner. Nate Fields up to P2. All right, Sheridan's next on track here. This is his first lap. See where it puts him. P6, 23.20 for Sheridan. So 6th place currently on his second lap, which everybody has shown improvements pretty much on that second lap. Good, 3 and 4. Let's see, where does he go? Sheridan Wade. 22.83, P5. All right. I know you're watching the stream, Jonathan. All eyes are on you. Revving that engine up to the end of the moon. Not going to make it any faster. All right. It's all down to the 60 car. The only car that hasn't qualified yet with 2 minutes 53 seconds left. He is coming off pit road. He was the fastest in practice. Can he do it over a 2-lap period where you have to make it count? You got to get these tires up to temp. You got to count on them. You got to trust what the car is going to do. And green flag is out. Lap 1 has begun for him. Chooses to run down on that newer pavement in the center of the corner. Pushes up a little bit there. Gonna try to build more heat. This is a throwaway lap. He gets up in the marbles there going into 3. Here he goes. This is going to be lap 2 coming up right here. Lap 1's going to put him P9, 23.43. Down on the paint in turn 1 and 2. Really hanging it out there. And late entry right on the line. Really good 3 and 4. Did he find the magic? P5 for the 60, 22.82. So, field is set. Here we go, says Trevor. That's right. All right, so I will go ahead and kind of pop up. It's not going to let me show it early. Well, maybe it will. We'll see if I can talk it into being nice. Nope. It won't show it until it matters. That's fine. It's going to pop up and show the grid early, but it won't let me, which is fine. 1 minute left. You can see on the left-hand side. This is our starting lineup for tonight's race. Corey Crandall is going to be our pole sitter on the front row. Beside him will be the 57 and Nate Fields. Starting in row 2 is going to be Trevor Benz in the 33 and Corey Kobe on the outside in the 86. Row 3 will have Mr. Hambrick in the 60. Starting 5th on the inside of row 3 and Sheridan Wade in the 54 starting on the outside of row 3. Row 4 is going to have Charles Bronstein, Joseph Klein in the 14. Row 5 will have Edwin James and Ben Summerford. Oh, I think it might have just got advanced on me. That's fine. Records have reset. I think everything's good. We're still seeing everything. Okay, and then on row 6, starting 11th place tonight will be Mark Owlett in the 80. As everybody's getting gridded up here.
Good luck, everybody.
Waiting for a couple drivers to grid up. Good luck to all the drivers in tonight's race. Actually, got to get my timing and scoring updated here to show laps. There we go. And we'll put on the gap time between positions. There we go. That's better. I know I'm slacking. Looks like everybody is gridded up. We should start rolling off here any second. Take a look here at an update on the weather real quick for you guys. It is 3:31 local time and sim time. 8-mile-an-hour wind still, 75-degree ambient temp. Track temp is down to 96, so it has dropped a few degrees from where we were in practice. Humidity still low at 25%. The clouds are doing their job, helping cool off the track a little bit. Now at the top of the screen you'll see I've got a scrolling ticker. It's part of iRacing, found it in the coding. Shout out to Ben for helping me find that. So we'll have that to show positions during the race along with our tower over on the left hand side as well. Get this track map back up here for you, show the car numbers and where they're at on track. As we are about to watch Corey Crandall lead the field to green. 200 laps. Here we go, boys. Pace car dips off at the very last second. Doesn't hit the barrels. Good job, pace car driver.
Green.
And we are green. Field's a little hesitant to get going there. Good start by all. Everybody's given space. Corey gets the lead. Trevor to P2. Inside line, having position there. Nate didn't want to challenge too hard. Jonathan going underneath Nate now for third. So Nate is falling back a little bit. Jonathan's moving forward. Says, don't worry about that qualifying attempt. Got me P5. Good start, up 2 spots on the first lap of the race as Corey has led the first lap. Field is getting spread out here. Got a couple of good battles back here. Like Sheridan and Corey Covey are side by side for 5th and 6th. Corey's getting that outside line to work on entry. Great job. Charles Bronston just sitting back there just waiting, saying, somebody make a mistake, I'll get by. Check back with Edwin here. He's riding in 9th place currently, right where he started. Expect patience from Mr. Edwin. Don't get to race IndyCar every week with him and I switching back and forth in the car, so don't get that consistent seat time that some of these other drivers are getting. So definitely got to let the car kind of settle in. I kind of expected that he would be patient here in the beginning to try to make sure he can make it to the full 200 laps tonight. Feel it out, see how it works in the draft and in the slipstream and how tight it's going to be. And we check back up front. Corey has not gotten out too far, about 0.4 of a second on Trevor. It's not much of a gap at all.
Caution's out.
Oh, we've got a spinner.
Make sure you're getting yourself something to drink there, buddy.
My scoring did not register a wreck. You can see just Jonathan gets down on the paint. Car comes around. Ooh, right side into the wall. But gets going again. I don't know how much damage that will give him. Check on that front end. Yeah, the nose is a little banged up on the right front. That wing, it's all there, but it's definitely bent in a little bit. I don't know about his toe, his steering. It's always hard to tell. Maybe just slightly affected, but that right front wing is definitely up and in a little bit more and scratched up a little bit. So I gotta assume he'll be coming to pit road. Maybe see about getting just a wing repair here. Maybe not use the fast repairs to see if the crew can change the wing. The series IndyCar is really tough. If you have steering damage, it takes forever, and they can just close, totally out and be like, ah, you're done for the race. But if it's wings, they will change them. New wing and a fresh set of tires. Only 3 sets of tires in this race in the pits, and there's one down for the 60, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't know if everybody else did that came down pit road, because if we're on lap 8, it's a long race. We will see. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, it did not alert me. It did afterwards. It took it a moment, but it finally, software's being slow today. I apologize. One of these days, I tell you, this broadcasting stuff has been fun. It's really got me involved. I love watching the racing, but my computer has been taking a toll as a race car driver and as a broadcaster. And every time I see things not popping up like it should be on my computer, I'm thinking it's the day. It's the day the computer said no more. Just keep hoping to string it along as far as I can. So back up front. Corey Crandall up in the lead. Top 6 drivers did not pit under this caution. Corey Kobe, Joseph Klein, Edwin James, Ben Summerford, Jonathan Hambrick did come down pit road for different strategies and such, as we are single file for the restart. Pace car gonna stay low here, come down pit road. Corey's just giving him time to get away, because as soon as the pace car drops, he can go at any time. Pace car's down and in.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Here we go. All right, top 3, Corey Crandall, Trevor Benz, Nate Fields. Sheridan Wade 4th, Charles Bronstein 5th, Corey Kobe 6th, Joseph Klein 7th, Edwin just passed Mark for 8th. Mark's back to 9th, Jonathan's up to 10th, and Ben is 11th. Check back here in the pack here. Looks like Ben and Mark side by side for last. Jonathan has gotten by Mark. Kind of wonder with that pit stop and having to use, I'd assume a fast repair. I don't know if it was just a wing repair. They make it look the same. They just change it really quickly. But I feel like with the pit stop, that was probably a fast repair and a set of tires. We'll see how this works out for him and his strategy for the rest of the race. It's tight battles all over. Joseph Klein, Edwin James battling for 7th and 8th. Right along with the gingerbread man. I guess if I clicked on him instead of Joseph, there we go. Right along with the gingerbread man here, and take a look at this battle. Looks inside. Up. No reason to be too aggressive here, as we're only on lap 14 of 200. Trying to get that drive off. Oh, he's got the drive off. Just the car is going to get tight. It's going to push up to the wall, and so is Joseph. So there's no passing opportunity at that angle. So he had to let off. Let the car roll. Now he's going to try to get back on. Great run he's got here. This is it. Can't get beside him though. Is he going to try to dive it in yet? Nope. He's going to back it down. Joseph giving him plenty of room too. Great racing by these drivers. No change up front. Corey Crandall in the 35 is still leading. Trevor Benz in 2nd. Nate Fields 3rd. Sheridan Wade 4th. Charles Bronstein 5th. Those are your top 5. Have not changed since the restart. Riding along here with Edwin, just watching that the work that he's doing in the wheel, how I mean he's getting up to 6th at the end of the straightaways too. He's really using all the gears. He's trying to be smooth with the wheel, trying to run a little bit different line than Joseph, I feel like, but it's hard because that you back the corner up and you cut underneath. You kind of got to push back up on the exit. You can't keep turning the wheel that hard when you're accelerating. Car will want to kind of spin out on you and get uneasy. Have some oversteer. They both get a little tight there, a little bit of understeer out of the corner. And then we'll go up to Joseph here and we'll go to his gearbox. Take a look from behind. Watch the nose of that 46 start poking. He's got Jonathan behind him, so Edwin's not like in a pressure mode to go, but he doesn't watch out, you know, could have to be on the defensive here shortly with the 60 car looming behind. The battle for the lead is getting close. It looks like Edwin's got to the side. Him and Joseph are side by side. Still side by side. All the way down the backstretch they go. Still side by side. Gets a nose out, Edwin does. Joseph comes down to tighten it up a little bit. Says, you can't use all the track. Some of it's got to be for me. And Joseph gets a great run out of turn 4. Nab's back in front of Edwin. Edwin is back now behind, and there it is. Jonathan is on the attack. So now Edwin's got to go to defense. Looks like Jonathan might have scrubbed the wall there. Hard to tell. They both got really close to it when they were being behind Joseph like that. Edwin and Jonathan. Oh. Great run off the corner. Looked like Joseph got tight. And holding them both back now as Edwin and Jonathan are side by side. Jonathan nabs in front. Edwin back to the inside. Great racing by these drivers. So close. Such close racing between these guys. This is pretty good. Oh no, 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 not the 60 again.
Caution.
Oh no!
You're doing a good job. You want to give us an update on that car?
Oh my goodness, Mark. Mark Owlett just got obliterated. Oh my goodness. Let's first ride along with Jonathan here. And the car just slides out from underneath him. Barely hits the wall. No problem. No problem. Now we're going to ride with Mark as he's coming around the corner. Jonathan tries to spin around. Nowhere for Mark to go. Ah. Car's totaled. Jonathan's car is still... That's when the pace car is going by. Okay, now we're back live. Car's on pit. We got a few more pit stops this time. Starts with Corey Kobe, Joseph Klein, Edwin James, Ben Summerford all on pits for the second time. Jonathan, I want to say he used his fast repair last time. I'm not certain. That might be it for him. Mark should have a fast repair to my knowledge. Wish the system would tell me it doesn't, but he got obliterated in that and had to get towed, landing on his head like that. Hope he's okay. I know it's a simulation, folks, and we're here, you know, not doing it in real life, but when you got equipment that's got the force that some of these steering wheels do, it's actually a rough hit when you get in an accident and the force feedback of these wheels kick in and everything. So that was a wild ride that the 80 took there, taking flight off of the back of the 60. So yeah, I don't know how to describe the overall difference from you know, practice to the race, but man, that car looked unhappy with you in turn 2 for sure. Both instances, and I don't know if it dealt with the level of clean air, dirty air, or just track conditions with the marbles and everything else. But this caution's about to end here. Corey Crandall still out in the lead. Top 5 have not been down pit road yet. Corey Crandall,
Green
Trevor
flag.
Benz, Nate Fields, Sheridan Wade, Charles Bronstein, your top 5. And we are back to racing as Mark has gotten towed in, gotten his fast repair. He comes back on track. He will be currently 3 laps down as the leaders go by. And we have a battle for the lead. Here we go. Trevor Benz says, I want some of this clean air. Drives down into 1. Gets it to stick. Can he get it to hold out of 2? He gets loose. There's still... Oh, he lost that momentum. Corey had that momentum there. Trevor looked like maybe he had a burp, but he got a little squirrely. It's hard to carry that momentum with a car on the outside. You got to turn the wheels so darn much. Great try by the 33 to grab that lead. Just couldn't see it through. Corey stays out front in the 35 car. Trevor Benz stays close behind in second. Nate Field, Sheridan Wade, the father-son duo, running third and fourth. Charles Bronstein still in fifth. Corey Covey running sixth. Joseph Klein 7th, Edwin James 8th, Ben Summerford 9th, and Mark Owlett is in 10th. And in our chat just got confirmation from the 60, too much damage. That car is not going to be coming back out on track tonight. Unfortunate. He had a very fast car, showed a lot of speed in practice. Just couldn't get the car to grip with the track and had a couple spin outs there that cost him tonight, so that's going to put him in P11 for tonight's race. Looks like our closest battle is going to be, oh, this duo again. This time it's Joseph Klein chasing Edwin. Oh, he lost some gap there coming out of turn 2. I was going to say these two were at it before the caution, battling back and forth. Now the 46 is starting to pull away a little bit. Closest battle still for that top spot. Just a half a second gap between Corey and Trevor for first. To Corey before the race, he was practicing some laps, trying to get the feel for the track, and he mentioned that it felt pretty good. And he, not knowing what everybody else was running before the lobby opened tonight, he goes, I'm running some pretty decent laps. I just don't know, how that correlates in time to what everybody else is going to do. But he said he liked the way the car felt, and it seemed fast to him. And he said he was in the 22-second bracket, which, that's right in line to what we've been dealing with tonight. And again, started from pole, qualified P1, in that qualifying setup, and then here in the race, he's been the leader. Started up front, staying up front. Currently, as we're on lap, about to complete lap 37, he's led all 37 laps when he crosses the line of the race. Nobody else has gotten a chance to lead a lap yet. Oh, Trevor! Oh, hard into the wall. Goes the 33 of Trevor Benz. Oh, no.
Caution, sorry, caution.
Oh, what is... I think he's trying to get around without pulling out. Oh. Let's see what happens here. He gets going. Okay, that was right along. Loose. Oh, a little bit of throttle there, and it just, wow, like spin cycle. Oof. And then the car did not want to cooperate. Left front tire is not turning, not agreeing at all. Oh yeah, look at it. It's just bouncing around like a basketball. He's trying to get around. He really is. I think he might be able to get to pit road here. Get service. Keep going, Trevor. You can get there. Gotta get this man a pit speed limiter. See if it locks up when he comes to his pit stop. Alright, fast repair. God, it's in reverse, Trevor. Get it back to first. There you go. Scared me for a second. Alright. Back on track. Fast repair burn. Fresh tires. Don't count him out yet, but man, what a run he was having in second place. And with that spin, it's going to put him back to 9th. As now we're down to 3 cars that haven't hit pit road yet. This time around, it was just Ben, Trevor. That's it. That's our pit stops, it looks like. But we still have Corey, Nate, and Sheridan have not hit pit road yet. The old run when I was talking with the guys earlier, green flag laps, not counting yellows, is right around 68. They were saying 68 to 70, so we're probably closer with this being our 3rd caution, probably somewhere closer to 75 to 78 laps of fuel from the start. So we'll see how strategy plays out. As with those kind of windows, you think 2-stop race, certainly with these yellows, has made it for sure almost a 2-stop race for some of these guys. So just see kind of how this works out and how tire wear works. And now that we've got a new 2nd and 3rd place, 4th place,
Green flag.
see if the strategies or the attempts change to try to get up front and get by Corey. As we are back to green, lap 42. Down past the wall. Yeah, Jonathan, that was a tough one. I get you're trying to get off the lane. It's just bad timing. He was coming around the corner trying to stay down as low as he could, knowing that you were there, and just bad timing. He caught some major hang time there and flipped and rolled and bounced, and that's racing though. Biggest thing I can take from it is anytime that stuff happens, just always reach out and say, hey man, sorry about that. I was just trying to get off the line, get more off the racing line and help everything out. And usually everybody understands, but emotions are emotions. Probably right now I'd be like, oh, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, it's okay. It's racing. Stuff happens. We all get past it. If we see, it looks like Corey might have brushed the wall there out of turn 2. That was close. As he still leads this race. I don't know if this is how difficult it is to pass at the Milwaukee. Sorry, let me say it better. At the Milwaukee Mile. Got to make sure we get that plug in there. The Milwaukee Mile. But Corey's been able to get the lead on these restarts, being up front and stay up front. And nobody has either tried or been able to fully pass. Trevor had a chance there on the last restart and was pretty darn close to it, but kind of assuming it's a bit tough to pass. Looks like Corey might have touched the wall again out of turn 2. Playing Russian roulette. Doesn't take much for these cars to scrub the wall and take heavy damage, so we're hopeful that he's not going to have that issue happen. Yeah, he left a little bit more space that time. So currently, since the restart, Trevor restarted 9th and is up to 7th. Battling Joseph Klein for 6th. So Trevor's trying to make that climb back. Just following how these runs are happening. The cars are spaced out pretty big time already. We've got almost a half a lap between 1st and 9th. And then 10th, Mark's in 10th. He's still 3 laps down. It's so hard to get laps back in the IndyCar series without a lucky dog or anything. This series did that last season and had the lucky dog, and We went more true to the IndyCar ways because IndyCar doesn't use Lucky Dog. That's a NASCAR thing. And took that away this year, and it's definitely been harder to get back on the lead lap or gain any laps back without it. So maybe you have to look for some changes for the next IndyCar season for that maybe. I know, right? Best of turn 2 highlights. Every track, it just seems to be the way it works out. Turn 2 at every track is nothing but danger in the IndyCar series. As we have a caution out. Oh, Ben Summerford. Let's check out what happened to Ben. Going down into turn 1. Don't tell me turn 2. Don't tell me turn 2. Turn 2 again. Locks him up. Keeps it off the wall, though. Good save there, Ben. Gets the car righted. Great job. Alright, so now what does the leaders do? Now that turn 2 is just destined to cause us all this trouble. We're at lap 52. We're past a quarter way through the race. Is it time? Here they come. There's the pit road cone. It's like Corey Kobe, who had pitted earlier. He's staying out. Mark's going to stay out to get up there closer to the leader, trying to get a lap back. He was hoping that Corey would pit, and then I believe the wave around would kick in, and he would get a lap back. But Corey staying out changes that, and then Ben spun and is staying out. So Ben to second, Corey Kobe to first. It's going to be the first lap led by somebody other than Corey Crandall, and Trevor Benz wins the race off pit road there. I'm assuming fuel only for him. Bonus point for Cody, that's right. And still plenty of laps to go. Still another bonus point out there for leading the most laps, which is still possible. And right now there's a bonus point for fastest lap of the race being held by Trevor Benz. So that can happen as well. Looks like Corey takes that bonus point and then comes down pit road, followed by Mark and Ben. Mark wasn't going to get that, which if he would have stayed out that time, he would have got the waiver because he was in front of Trevor. So, could have got a lap back there, Mark. Could have got a lap back. Yeah, you said Cody, I said Cody. We meant Kobe. Kobe! Corey, Kobe! Stop typing things wrong. You're making me read and say the wrong stuff. Come on, 60. Give me properly spelled information. I don't fact check everything that I read in the chat. I just state it. I just start talking about it. Alright. We at restart time. Lights off on the pace car. Yes, sir. Here we go. Trevor Benz spun. Last caution for the third caution of the race. Now he's up to the lead. Followed by Nate Fields and Sheridan Wade. Pace car's down.
Green flag.
And we're green. Good restart by the 33. Mid pack though, all stuck together. Looks like an inside pass from Charles on, was that Joseph? Charles got by Joseph there. It wasn't too early of a pass. Just happened to see it as going to one. Trevor is checked out. Oh no, Corey Crandall's way up on the wall. What are you doing up there? There's so many marbles up there. What are you doing? Stay down, buddy. Stay down. There we go. All right, father and son battling for second and third, side by side. What is going to happen here is it looks like Nate's going to have a little bit of an edge going into 3 on Sheridan, but Sheridan gets good momentum, drive off on the exit, turn 4 there, still side by side. As Trevor's checked out to 2.5 second gap. I don't know what's going on here. Trevor says, I'm going to get some points. I'm going to lead some laps. I'm out of here. And this... Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, no! Oh, Corey Kobe gets contact, sliding down, locking down to not run into Nate. Oh. Oh, man. Let's go on board here. I want to see it from Sheridan's cockpit. Okay, he gets loose. Oh, yep, it does the maybe the netcode bump here. It's hard to catch it in slower motion, but he's catching it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm. What just happened? Well, we'll see if we can see it better from here. Nothing you want to see like team cars going out in the same incident with contact. Yep, it did. It net coded. You can see where the obvious ghost bump comes from that, and that puts, I mean, the one that probably got the biggest surprise out of it all would be Corey Kobe. We're right along with him. Again, all this is happening. He's locking it up. Slow down. The door gets shut there at the end. Just nowhere to go. Tough break. So.
He was looking to stick.
I'm stressed out now. We can't get a long run. We're getting some really good racing, and there it's just netcode iRacing took over and said no, not today. And I mean they had a good gap in between them, so that's really a bummer to see that happen. Two fast cars, but both with should have had fast repairs left still, so not the end of the race. It has been shown by a lot of other drivers tonight as Trevor comes to pit road. Scheduled stop maybe. Right along with him here. We'll see what happens. Car's getting no tires. Looks like maybe fuel, maybe a repair. Yep, there it is. The right front wing gets a little straightened. I think he's trying to get that car fixed. I don't know how much time he has. Lights are off on the pace car, so we are going green this time, so I'm confused. Trevor's staying out here, or staying on pit road. I did not see where Trevor would have had contact there. Didn't get that damage, so just gonna put Trevor a lap down, still on pit road. Edwin James says, my turn. Trevor manually disconnected. I am so confused right now. I wonder what happened with Trevor though, why he would leave. That's a shame. He had a fast car. All right, so here we go. Edwin James is the leader here on lap 65. Joseph Klein up to second. Charles Bronstein third as he gets passed by Corey Crandall. We're third. Sheridan Wade going for fourth on the inside of Charles as well. How's the ice? What ice? What are you talking about? Does it sound like I'm eating ice? My apologies. Close battle back here for 6th and 7th. Nate Fields and Kobe. Nose to tail coming down the backstretch. Into 3. Before he drops down low next to that white line. Nate follows, stays in his tracks. We just kind of wait here, patiently waiting to see what's the next victim of turn 2. Close here on a battle for 2nd place, 2nd and 3rd, Joseph Klein and Corey Crandall. Corey's looking down on the inside into 1 and 2 here. Joseph shuts the door that time, going down into 3. So I'm going to run the bottom, sir. I was munching on some corn chips and Fritos, but I guess that's too loud, so I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm not trying to create radio catastrophe during my broadcast. I just wanted a snack. I like talking too much, so it's hard for me to ever mute myself. Alright, so as we saw right there, Corey Crandall got to the outside and Joseph Klein was able to pass for 2nd. Now he's on the charge to try to catch up to Edwin. He's about 2.5 seconds back currently. Joseph Klein 3rd. Got fresh company behind him, Sheridan Wade in the 54. He's closing in to get that top 3 spot. And Sheridan is Corey Kobe. He's a ways back here. We've got a pretty big gap between 4th and 5th. Just over 4 seconds. Right, Corey is Nate Fields. Corey gets tight. Woo, so so close to the wall. Behind Nate is Charles, currently in 7th. I just got an alert for that Ben just got passed by Edwin if you put a lap down. So Ben's in 8th, but that will put him 1 lap down. That leaves 7 cars on the lead lap. And they are all spread out. About a half a lap gap between 1st to 7th right now. Whoa! Boy, Ben got pretty close there. Tonight's coverage brought to you by First Gear Network Limp, bringing you these great sights from above. Sheridan Wade just got by Joseph Klein for P3. Sitting 5.3 seconds back of Edwin currently, and slowly looked like that was closing, but now it's gapping back out. I think it's going to ebb and flow based on where they're at on track. The one that's making the biggest move since he got to 2nd, or since he got past Joseph earlier, was Corey Crandall. He's 1.4 seconds back. So just kind of watching that, riding with Corey, looks like he had made ground, catching Edwin there, and now he's starting to fall back. You could hear he was having to be off the throttle a little bit more. Cars look to be getting a bit tighter as the run goes on. See these guys pushing up closer to the wall on corner exit. Really currently, if I'm looking at gap to the leader, nobody is gaining time collectively on Edwin in big chunks currently. He is running lap times faster than the rest of the field. Right now he's got behind, is that so that's going to give up some time. So now Corey made up some time on Edwin there. Edwin happened to get around Ben. But now that he's got by him, we're going to see if that starts to stretch back out. We do have a battle for position. The 86 Corey Kobe has got company. Nate Fields is there for 5th and 6th. Right along here with Nate for a moment. Close battle. This is the closest battle on track for any position currently, as they're both starting to close in on Joseph Klein as well. And Joseph's in 4th, 2nd up ahead of him here, but I can see the tickers letting me know they're getting closer and closer to him. So even though they're battling for 5th and 6th, they're gaining on 4th. So maybe best to shy away from too hard of a battle right now, work on getting by another position, and then once you clear that, then you battle. But it's always hard. It's a race for a reason. They call it a race. You don't want to ever just give up a chance to get a position when you don't know when the next one you're going to see either. So see how everything works out here between these guys, as they are putting on a pretty tight battle, and they've closed in within 0.7 of a second of Joseph now. So top 3 have kind of stretched themselves out from the rest of the field. Edwin in 1st, Corey Crandall in 2nd, Sheridan Wade in 3rd. There's a 7.5 second gap between the 3 of them. 4th place, Joseph here is 18, almost 19 seconds behind Edwin. That's a pretty big gap to be dropping from the leader. Leader's actually on the same straightaway as these guys, just behind them. So we're going to see Edwin closing in on these guys if there's no yellow here, as we have passed the halfway mark. We're on lap 106. Position. Put Nate Fields up to 5th, Corey Kobe back to 6th. Joseph Klein's in trouble because they've been catching him lap after lap. And oh, by the way, here comes the leader, who is stretched back out to over a 2-second lead over Corey Crandall again. Just meticulously taking his time, Now, when you hit traffic, it's a whole different story. The dirty air, the amount of pull that affects the car and the handling of the car, this is going to get difficult. We see Charles Bronstein in 7th just went down a lap to Edwin a couple laps ago. So that's going to put us 6 cars in the lead lap currently, as Corey Kobe is under threat from the leader, putting him a lap down. And we were talking about earlier, when you go a lap down in this series, it's almost next to impossible to get back. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers race the leader, but obviously don't try to put it in a bad spot either. So Corey runs low here. He lets Edwin have the line. Says, nope, not my battle. So Edwin's up to a 3-second gap over Corey Crandall, and he got by Corey Kobe pretty simple, pretty respectfully by the 86. He goes to the inside of the 14. Looks like Joseph's not going to battle him too much here either. Alright, so that puts us 4 cars in the lead lap. Next one in Edwin's sights is Nate Fields. Edwin's a little tight there on corner exit of turn 2. But that gap is growing. Edwin James, part-timer, part-time racer, part-time broadcaster, full-time gingerbread man, is out here putting on a darn heck of a drive. Looks like Corey Kobe and Joseph Klein side by side back here behind. Looks like Corey is edged out, gets clear of Joseph. And here comes second place, Corey Crandall. Now, are these guys going to make it any difficult or any different on Corey? He's not the leader, he's second, but hey man, we're having a battle. What are they going to do? Looks like Joseph Klein lets Corey have the inside, and now we've got the Corey and Corey show. See what happens here. So now Corey Kobe is the next car for Corey Crandall to put a lap down. Man, they are getting tight out of 2. That is scaring me. The camera angle makes me think somebody's going to hit the wall every time. Turn 2 has been tricky tonight. Corey looks to the inside of Corey. Clean pass by Corey on Corey. Corey's giving him a run for his money on the high side, but Corey gets by. I love calling saying names. Thank you guys for that. I needed that. Alright, so let's check our leaderboard now. As Edwin, 3.3 second lead over Corey Crandall. Sheridan Wade hasn't caught any of that traffic yet. 7.2 behind, so he has gained a little bit of time, not a lot. And we're getting close to 80 laps to go. So current runs, let's take a look at our lap counter here. I'm gonna pull up our pit strategy. We're actually having some, so pit stop lap. Let's look at that. Edwin, it's been 52 laps since his last pit stop. Same with Joseph Klein back in 6th. I'm inclined to say that what they told me earlier about green flag runs and all that, it was somewhere around 68. So put that 68 together, and what do you get? $120. Coming to 120 now. And he's still going. Yes, Michael. I've been saying it in my head all night. This car sounds so good. So Edwin's gap is falling back a little bit to Corey. Corey's 2.5 back, closing. Edwin's still going and Corey is closing 2.3. I'm not sure what to think here. Joseph Klein dropped back another spot. Charles Bronte got by him for 6. Again, 4 cars on the lead lap. Nate Fields is the next one in Edwin's sight, but they've been hanging about that same gap apart. But Corey Crandall is coming. He is 2 seconds back. Sheridan Wade, a little bit slower here, losing a little bit of time maybe. Traffic, trying to get by Corey Kobe. The battle here between the 35 and the 46, it's been such an ebb and flow of time. I'm assuming Edwin is trying to manage some more fuel, running a different map, being easier on the throttle, backing his lap times down. But I mean, he's given up 0.2 of a lap to the 35. I don't know if this is just all about hitting a number at this point, because if you can try to make it on one stop, you got to go another 6, 7, 8 laps roughly to even maybe be close to that window if there's no more yellows. I maybe try to save some on the back end too, so if you want to be able to run hard, I think you got to get to like 65 to go, and that's 10 more laps. Like, I don't know. Edwin says no more. Coming to pit road. Leader to pit road. Looks like he's made it 59. It should mark it as 60 laps, so. Or no. Oh, wait. It won't mark it yet. I can't count. Sorry, guys. I was reading the wrong one. That puts Corey out front. Corey Crandall in the 35. Again, he had a few more laps, 7 more laps of fuel than Edwin. He pitted on that last the lap 59, so that gap is the difference of him being able to run. Same with Sheridan Wade and Nate Fields. They can run longer than Edwin. Edwin was the only one up there in that front pack that was in that front group, top 4, that had last pitted on 52, so we're still not to 70 to go. So looks like Nate Fields, I think, entering. Sheridan's entering. And Edwin just went by for a second. Everybody's lapped down right now. Obviously that changes when Corey pits, but pitting with 72 to go, I don't know if that works for these guys unless they're running fuel savings right off the bat. So let me see if it'll let me update the pit stop lap. Being glitchy. Look at stint lengths. There we go. That helps. It helps to understand how many laps these guys are running without pitting. Corey Covey's another car that hasn't been to pit. Ben Summerford hasn't either. Mark Ouellette hasn't been on pit since lap 50. What is going on around here? Yep. Is Corey coming? He's slowing down. Alright, Corey Crandall is gonna come to the pits from the lead. We'll see how all this works out. I mean, he's gonna end up with a better chance of fuel. Fill that tank all the way up. Give me some extra, guys. It gives them the best chance to be able to make it to the end, because we're right on the edge. We're right on the edge. Let's see. Where's the 46? He's coming down the front stretch now. Side by side, and he passes. And he comes out with roughly about the same lead that he had when he came in. But Corey Crandall's got to take care of them tires for a couple laps, let them get up to temp. So this is going to be it. This is you know, you want to say that everybody that was their last stop. I still am concerned at the length of the run for Edwin. He did just run 73 laps on that last stint. But when he pitted, he had 75 laps to go. So not only did he go long, but now he's got to go longer. And that 73 lap stint had a caution in it, because that's when everybody else pitted when he stayed out and assumed the lead. So cautious. You got to almost be like, please, somebody give me a caution to make these laps. Maybe two. Fuel savings get you so far, but you can only save so much when the guy behind you probably doesn't have to save near as much. So we'll see what the attack is from Corey Crandall in that 35 is in after pit stops. And my system is telling me Ben Summerford still hasn't come down pit road. I'm going to check here. I'm going to click. Is he out here in max fuel save? He's running 8s, and he hasn't been on pit road since lap 59, and then, okay, that's what the one I was missing. So yes, Mark has pitted. He pitted on lap 127. Okay, so it's just Ben. Ben's out here sending it. We'll go ahead and change that to 8. Give me 8. There we go. 75 laps for Ben. That ticker's just going to get higher and higher for him as testing out this new strategy. Just don't ever pit. And he's got trouble behind him as the leaders. Edwin and Corey. Corey is coming. Edwin is in save mode. He's losing time to the whole field. The top 3 have all gained 2 seconds on him in the past few laps. So Edwin has got to save to make it to the end. But he's got to save to just not make it to the end, but to have a chance to race for the win. And I think getting up front was pivotal to having the lead that he has, but I'm wondering if he pushed a little too hard on that last stint and could have maybe save a couple more laps, because this to me is on the edge, and Corey is taking his time with the attack. He's caught him. We're going to see these two battle it out. I don't know, that 35 having six more laps of fuel, pitting 6 laps later, obviously still right on the borderline, on the edge of what we thought a fuel window would be. It's still more manageable to save, so right now just ride behind the 46. Stay in the left. Save that fuel. Even though you know he's saving fuel, when it comes to it, when it's time to go, when you got more fuel than the guy you're racing, you can push harder, you can drive it harder. So I feel like the 35 is being super patient, taking advantage of what he's got in front of him. And currently Sharon Wade 5.7 seconds back, so he's gained a couple seconds in this whole situation. Now he's dropping, he's kind of ebbing and flowing, not really super gaining, but you know, all these guys are probably in a little bit of save mode. Sheridan for sure, he only pitted a lap after Edmund, it looks like. So. Ooh, crossover. Crossover! There it is. We got a new leader. Our early leader in the race. Who has... check our counter here. So right now Edwin's led the most laps at 78. Corey has led 58, about to be 59 as he's just retaken the lead. Trevor Benz led 7 laps earlier. before he dropped out of the race, and Corey Kobe has led 1 lap for a point. Current fastest lap of the race, and bonus point has gone to the 35 of Corey Crandall with a 22.574. Great lap. So we're watching this stint length strategy. I'm still nervous for all drivers involved. I don't feel like anybody's got it locked up in the bag for fuel mileage based off of the lap they pitted. The furthest that waited the longest in the top 5 that pitted was Corey Kobe on lap 132. But he is a lap down, so it's... And he's under... Is he under pressure? Is that what I'm seeing here? Let's double check. He is under pressure. That 98 said, "Hey, 86, come here. I want to race." Yum, yum, yum. So they are battling out here for 5th and 6th. Side by side, nope. There it is. Oh, what happened? Oh, he's blinking. I wonder what was going on there. Trying to trick me. Heck of a run we've had here after those, I don't know if you want to call them early cautions, because we had green flag runs in between each caution, but definitely having some spins, and turn 2 caused a bunch of trouble tonight. And there's some net code in 3 and 4 between the teammates of Sheridan and Nate. Definitely had some trouble tonight. It caused some early cautions, but this green flag run has been long. It's been great. It's been strategic. We're seeing all these drivers run at different paces and try to make sure their car is in a position to win, or a position to get a good finish here at the end of this race. So shout out to all these drivers putting in a great effort tonight. Right along with Mark Ouellette here for a moment. Currently P9. He has scored 6 laps behind the leader. Maybe a little bit of short on overall speed, but never short on spirit. Mark shows up to race every darn night, gives it his all, and does his darndest to stay out of trouble. The trouble he got in tonight was not any doing of his own, just wrong place, wrong time. But that initial issue had him where he had to tow and get a fast repair, and put him 3 laps down trying to get that handled. So that was a tough start, but he's been trucking. Does it week in, week out in every series. It's always fun to race with Mark. Looks like he may have just gotten passed by Ben Summerford. Ben is currently 3 laps down. Last pitted on lap 140. So that last run for Ben was 81 laps last stint. So if we know anybody can make it to the end, it's the 32. Okay, he can for sure make it to the end. I can probably bet some money on it and probably win something. Everybody else, I don't know. I feel like up front, Edwin has dropped back to 2 seconds behind Corey. And again, he's got to save more than Corey. I don't know. I mean, it's 6 laps difference. That's huge. So now the pressure behind him, Sheridan Wade isn't. I mean, he's closing, but he's not able to close that much. He's only a lap less. Sheridan doesn't have much more fuel than Edwin. Neither does Nate running in fourth. But Nate is in trouble because Corey Crandall is coming. Like he's right behind him to put him a lap down to make it to where we would. If he passes Nate, that's only 3 cars in the lead lap. And Corey is right on that line we talked about at the beginning of the race. Corey Kobe has 7 lap cushion. Good to know. And he pitted on 132. I mean, that tells me that maybe everybody can make it. Oh, we got a spinner. We got a spinner right here in front of the leader. Not seeing. Looks like, oh, registered and Charles went down to the pits. I think it's going to be a no yellow. What a save. If I saw this right, yeah, he got completely sideways. Wow. Oh, okay. I didn't see that when I was rewinding. Tank slapper into the wall. But he saved it. He didn't spin out. No caution. That was right in front of our leader. Woo! Goodness gracious. Give me a heart attack tonight. That also, like Corey got by Nate during that situation with Charles getting sideways. Nate led off and Corey was able to get around the outside. So that does put 3 cars on the lead lap. We got a 2.4 second gap from Corey to Edwin. I'm uncertain how to put this, guys. This is going to be a fun race to the end. As we're down to complete lap 164. 36 to go this time by. First half of the race with the cautions took a bit of time to get to halfway, but the second half of the race and how long this green flag run has been since what, lap 59 the last caution, it's 59.60, so we've raced over 100 laps. Green flag. Great job by all the drivers. And now we're going to see this strategy unfold and see who can play between these top 3. And if people like Corey Kobe in the 86 running 5th, he scored 2 laps down currently. I mean, these leaders have to run out of fuel for him to have a chance to win right now. But anything's possible with if any of these guys didn't get a full tank, where they left their auto fuel on and said 1 lap and then raced too hard. You don't get the full tank you need to get sometimes. iRacing will short you. It happens. There's plenty of drivers over the past couple weeks about fuel shortages based off of what auto fuel says you need when you go for your last pit stop. So no other battles on the track currently. Everybody's got big gaps over each other. Closest gap is first to second, 35 to the 46. And they've got the 57, Nate Fields in between them. And the 80 in Mark Owlett is there in between first and second as well currently. Amen. Let it happen one time. That's enough, right? Never again. We've got Joseph Klein on pit road. Pitting from 6th place. Yep, he falls back a spot as Charles gets by while he's on pit road. So Charles will spin into the pit road, get a fresh fast repair and some tires. I think is putting him in a spot to where now he can be on the attack and going forward. As he doesn't have to save anything. Corey Crandall's like a 3.8 second lead over Edwin James, and it's growing. Again, 35 car started on pole, led for the early portions of this race before pit strategies and stuff kind of changed the field, mangled things around a little bit. I think he was involved in a little bit of contact when the 54 and 57 got together, if I recall correctly in that replay, maybe a little bit of wing damage, but ever since then, he's been on the hunt for Edwin since that restart with 130 some to go, and it's been down to that extra pit stop he made, which may have been for the wing damage and not really necessary, but that gave him extra fuel to get him to where he basically was in the pit window, right at the edge of the pit window when he came in. And he has pulled out to over 4-second gap. We're coming to 27 to go right now. This is about as dominating of a race, beginning and end for the 35 as you could ask for. Middle wasn't always up front, but I mean, he's at 87 laps led, 88 now. I mean, 12 more laps and he's led 100 laps in this race. This Edwin's at 78, running out of time to get by and get that point for most laps led. He's got that fastest lap too, so bonus points galore for that 35 right now. The way things sit with leading a lap, leading the most laps, and fastest lap, that's a bonus point for each. 3 extra bonus points going towards the championship. May not always be that you're racing for the championship. Oh, contact. They both get going, but that was close. Let's go back and look at that. I want to see this. We're actually going to go up top. I like this camera shot better. That was some contact right there. Boom. They both keep going. See what that does in the grand scheme of things. Looks like both cars are still running full song. We're at 23 laps to go, coming around for 22. .4 seconds for Corey over Edwin. And Edwin he's in that middle ground, right? He probably can't catch Corey unless Corey has an issue or has to back off, but oh, contact and a right front wheel broken for the 14. Joseph Klein, how's he making it around the track? Did it fix the right front wheel? I don't know if you all saw that as much as I did, but I saw him get high. Boom. Look at what it does to the wheel, and then Iris says, okay, you can have it back. Although his car's not driving right. What a... just clobbered the wall. Car got super tight out of 2. Turn 2 at every track never disappoints. Back to the lead. Corey Crandall getting by. Looks like Ben Summerford here. Puts Ben 4 laps down. Puts him on the same lap with Joseph Klein. But he is ahead of him. Ben's up to 7th. Great run for Ben tonight. 4.8 second lead over Edwin. Corey has. Sheridan Wade is trying to gap. It's only a 2-second gap between Sheridan and Edwin, so I feel like that's the race, right? Between them two for second and third. Sheridan's got it under 2 seconds now, so those two are going to be coming together here shortly, I feel like. Let's go check on Sheridan here, as I'm going to turn off the pit info. We're going to find out if these guys make it or not, right? It's just going to happen, so let's go on board with Sheridan, and we'll put the dashboard here. Let's just see how fast he's going here. 40 in the center of the corner. Fourth gear to fifth gear. There's 679 into 3. Then back down to 140, 139. Back on the throttle, fourth gear, fifth gear. He's not touching sixth gear. He's not saving fuel, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I can tell you he's getting tight, but he's gaining. I mean, it's under a second between these guys. There's Edwin right in front of him. I don't know if Edwin's just didn't save enough. It has to start letting off even more. 14 laps to go. Trying to make it with a lap gap over fourth on back. You kind of don't want to have to pit again, right? Give yourself a chance to lose that top 3 spot. Edwin led some laps here in the middle of the race. Looked dominant before just that final pit stop. Just happened to pit a little too early where it looked like he definitely would have had to save. So having to be in fuel save mode in a race, it's one of the hardest things. Some people do it really well, but it's still hard to do. You want to go fast. You're in a race. First one wins. Last thing you want to do is have to just fully just take it easy for the whole run. You don't feel like you can really race anybody hard. And that's kind of what's happening here. Edwin's come all the way back now. Has he saved enough to be able to battle for this second spot? Because Sheridan's only got 1 lap more of everything. He pitted 1 lap later. Edwin pitted on 125, Sheridan pitted on 126. The pit window was really 170, 132, 133, at least initially. But now you can save some, and you don't have to save a lot. But these guys pitted 5 and 6 laps before Corey Crandall, the leader. And I don't think Corey's had to save it all this run. If he hasn't had to really slow his speed way down. So probably just taking it easy on entry and letting the car roll and not using as much brake. But Edwin is trying to stay in front of Sheridan. He's definitely let him get to him and said, okay, that's as much saving as I can do for now. Gotta wait till you check that fuel box with 5 laps to go and find out that you're, a lap and a half short on fuel, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm just coasting. But I mean, take a mental screenshot of these standings. I mean, somebody might run out of fuel and change in the leaderboard here in these 9 cars that are still on track. As Sheridan looks to the inside. So here we go. Battle for second. Edwin hangs on, running that outside line. Sheridan right on his tail. Sheridan looks down to the inside again as they enter turn 3. Sheridan's going to push up. Nope, he keeps it low, lets it turn, lets it rotate, trying to get a drive off. Can't stay beside Edwin. Just can't make the pass going into or coming out of 4. And again, enters behind him in 1, comes out of turn 2. Looks like he's going to have another run. Yep, drops back down again. Here we go again. It's a mirror image lap after lap, but this time he gets in front of Edwin. But now Edwin gets back to his side. Side by side they are at the stripe. We are at 6 laps to go. Side by side into 1 and 2. That's a first. Sheridan got a little tight, then a little loose there. Lose a little bit of the paint. Just lost a little bit of grip. Collect himself. Alright, coming to 5 to go. I feel like this isn't over yet. These guys are not done with each other yet. Sheridan Wade to pit. All that pushing, and he had to pit with 4 to go. This could change everything. Nate Fields coming out of turn 4. Sheridan coming off pit road. This is going to be a close battle for third between teammates again. Nate gets by. Nate Fields to P3. We're following around here with Corey. That's a change. Oh, he had to pit. I just can't believe it. Now Edwin's got all the time in the world to coast that car around for P2. All right, 2 laps to go. Corey Crandall in the 35. Dominant race tonight. Led the most laps. Still fastest lap of the race. Been up front. He's led 112. He's on pace to lead 113 now. 1 to go. He's going to lead 114 laps if he makes it back around to the stripe without incident. So there's our change, though. Sheridan having to pit with 4 to go. Puts Nate in 3rd position currently as they're going to be racing to the stripe for that battle. And here comes our winner. Corey Crandall in the 35 wins tonight's race at the Milwaukee Mile in the IndyCar Series as he slows down across the stripe real slow. That guy. Edwin James is coming around. He's going to get P2. Nate Fields got P3. Great race, everyone. Congratulations to Corey, Edwin, and Nate making it to the podium tonight. We will be talking to those guys here a little bit as Sheridan gets 4th, Corey Kobe 5th, Charles Bronstein 6th, Ben Summerford 7th, Joseph Klein comes home 8th, and Mark Owlett comes home 9th, with Trevor Benz out early tonight in 10th, and Jonathan Hambrick with a couple early spins in turn 2 ends his night. He comes home 11th. Wow. Strategy played out. We did see it affect one person. Sheridan Wade pitted 1 lap later than Edwin, but still had to pit 4 laps shy of the finish. Just wasn't able to save enough. We're going to get some guys here in the waiting room in the broadcast booth. We'll get some interviews here as soon as we get the guys in here. Just give me just one moment. We'll be right back. All right, back here with you. Still waiting to see if Nate is getting on Discord for the interview tonight. Looks like he's up in voice chat. Oh, maybe he's coming down now. Oh, I lost him. I don't know where he went. I saw him for a minute, then he's gone. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and skip to P2. Edwin James, let's get him up here. Edwin, it's Jason in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. P2 tonight. Pretty good overall run. You led a good portion of the middle of this race. Tell us about your night and tell us about that last stint. Had to save a lot of fuel, I assume, to be able to make it?
Yep, I'd pitted like 4 or 5 laps earlier than Corey, and I couldn't go any further. And when I saw that he still kept going, I knew this one was lost. So I just did what I could to preserve second. I ended up being 1 lap to the good by the end, but I had to run in fuel position 4. So I guess a great job fuel saving, but I'm not happy. I could have won again.
Yeah, it worked down to that last pit stop, that last yellow, where you stayed out and assumed the lead, and Corey came down pit road. And
Yep.
that really gave him an extra 7-8 laps on you to then be able to run an extra 5-6 laps than you under green, and watching those lap times and that strategy and seeing how long each of you went, I was like, ooh, he's got to be saving the whole time. Corey's right on the edge. He may not have to save. Sheridan stopped 1 lap after you, and had to pit with 4 to go. So when I saw him pit, I was like, ooh, well, I know Edwin was dropping back and not really charging at all. So I was like, I'm wondering if he's going to make it. And
Yep.
he did. So still a great
He
race.
he was charging, and I cut him a little low in turn 2. I hope he's not mad at me, but I wasn't giving up second.
Hey, I don't blame you. And at the end, I mean, he had to pit. He ran out with 4 to go. It looks like had to give up third spot to his old man. Nate ended up was able to get by him there as Sheridan was coming up pit road to get P3. But great racing all night. You led 78 laps tonight. Would have been a great night for anybody to lead that many laps, but Corey had to go and lead 114, get the fastest lap, and start from pole and win the race. So I think for what you had, again, being the part-time broadcaster, part-time racer in these cars, I think that affects us both, right? We don't have the week in, week out reps in these cars to have to watch you come to the Milwaukee Mile and put in a P2 finish is a great showing. That's a great drive, man.
Yeah, it's kind of off the bench because the only other oval I ran was Talladega, and that ain't nothing compared to here. This was a tough track. I was able to get a feel for the car after about, 30, 40 laps in. I just started getting in the groove, and I was like, this is how to do it. I remember now. Okay.
Right.
And then I just started ripping off consistently. It was between 28.9 and 28.8, and I was right there. It was just so consistent. Car felt so good. I just hate it had to be a fuel strategy thing near the end.
Yeah, I once I
yeah.
saw that you guys were starting to have that longer green flag run in the middle of the race, it's like, I wonder if yellows are over now, and this is going to come down to who can, because it just looked that way. So I started looking at pit lap counts from last pit stop, and I do want to give a shout out sometime during this broadcast to Ben. He ran his next to last stint. He ran 81 laps on a tank of fuel.
Yeah, dang.
That was crazy. He stretched it really far where he had to pit with I think like 40 to go or something like that. It was he had plenty of fuel when he had to pit. He didn't have to worry about coming back down pit road, but it was fun to watch. Great strategy, great drive. And for a second here, I'll give you the floor. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Thanks to?
My wife, my parents, you guys, everybody. Yeah, everybody here at FGR. We're doing a great job. Appreciate everything. I need to shout out to all the lap cars, too. I know I didn't say thank you in the chat. I was so focused and drawn in, but thank you, everybody, for racing hard and clean. That was good stuff. Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, man, and thanks for doing this part-time thing. And it was fun to see you in the car at an oval and out there up front getting it done. So congrats on that second place tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll catch up with you later, all right?
All right, appreciate it.
All right, let's get, looks like Nate did make it, so, I might have clicked the wrong button. I probably did, sure did. That's on me. Let me fix this real quick. I'm supposed to know what I'm doing, but I don't sometimes, and you can see it, so I apologize. Let me get that back up. There we go. Let's get him in here. Gosh, I'm a new guy, you can tell. Nate, it's Jason in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear. Oh, I lost him. I went back to the waiting room. Let me pull him back up in here. I had you there for a second, then it kicked you back to the waiting room. Do you got me?
Oh, I sure do. What's going on, Jason?
Hey, man, what's going on? Congratulations on the P3 tonight. Got a little bit of a lucky break with the boy having to pit with 4 laps to go, huh?
Yeah, Milwaukee's a nightmare with pit sequences, and you just never know where anybody is on the track, ever. I mean, you can check how far ahead or whatever, but you don't know, nobody knows who's pitted, who didn't pit, who undercut. It doesn't matter. It's just kind of luck of the draw.
Yeah.
I saved a lot of fuel there last probably 40 laps or so, and I had probably about a lap of fuel left at the end. So.
Okay, well, it's called cutting it close. That's what tonight's race was about, with how it went green at just the right point of time, and there was no more yellows, and it put us right on that border. If we would have had one more yellow, we probably wouldn't have had to worry about fuel mileage at all.
Yeah.
Just happened to be the perfect storm. Get a handful of cautions early, clear it up and then just green flag it the rest of the way, and then it just happened to hit right on that mark where
Hmm.
if you were saving a little bit in the early part, like Corey and Edwin really tried to split it the best they could to where they only had to one stop, but Edwin had to spin the whole
Yep.
last stint on fuel
Yeah.
number 4, and so he really couldn't attack anybody. And that's part of it though. But to me, I was talking about in the broadcast, it's one of the most frustrating things. You're in a race to be the fastest, to be first, and you can't race because of fuel. It irks me sometimes, but it's still fun to watch. But man, it's hard when you know people have fast cars and you got to sit there and save fuel the whole time.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things about the sim racing is you got to be the mechanic, the driver, the pit crew. You got to make all your
Got to do it
decisions.
all. Yeah,
You're
yep,
your
yep.
own spotter sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, Sheridan ran a good race. I think we both did. Just kind of we kind of fell in line with the same pit sequence. Didn't really know them last minute decisions on when we should and take tires and all that. So um, Corey and Edwin ran a great race. Congrats on P1 and 2 with them, and we'll battle some more next week.
All right. Well, sounds good, man. Again, great drive. Congratulations again on the P3.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna give you the floor here for a second. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or a thanks to?
Sheridan, another Indy 1 driver, our team. Anybody else watching? He does some streaming live, so anybody out there watching. So see you next week.
All right, man. Next week we go to Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be interesting. So
These cars are crazy at Watkins Glen. It's fun, but
yeah,
man,
yeah.
it's fast. So
Well,
again,
is that a hint that you're not gonna be in it?
I might talk myself into that one. I'm gonna see if Edwin will let me
Okay.
race that one because I love Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to get to do. I've stayed away from most of the road course races I think all season, and I think that's one I would want to do. So I might have to see if I can get in the car next week and maybe run that one because
All right.
I love that track. So I might see you on track next week.
All right. Jason, thank you again for doing all this. You and Edwin, and I'll let you get back to a P1 there, Corey.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, you have a great night, Nate.
Yep. Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Uh,
All right, let's get the big winner up here. Let me click on him here, Corey. I know he's been waiting. Let's get him in here. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Corey, congratulations, my friend.
Man, I appreciate it. That was a fun track. I'm glad I finally got on to do another one of these.
Heck yeah, man. Hell of a drive. Great qualifying session, getting the pole, leading laps early. Giving up the lead for pitting and all that, not indicative of your night. Like you were dominant. Led 114 laps tonight. Fastest lap of the race. I didn't really see anything of a flaw for you tonight, other than I think you might have got some contact in that incident with Nate and Sheridan. Did you get a wing clip on that? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it took my front wing completely off.
Okay, okay. So
Oh,
other than that, though, flawless night. Congratulations again on the win. How was the car on the track? It seemed like you were in a groove the whole night. It really did. And then the fuel strategy, did you have to save anything in those last two stints to make it on one stop, or was that pretty much straightforward for you?
that was straightforward. I mean, I ran it as hard as I could all race long.
Nice job, man. That was awesome. Car looked good. Car looked fast. You really had a good line. Looks like there was a couple moments in that close, not the last stint, but probably right around before that last pit stop. You got close to turn two a couple times. I don't know. It didn't look like you hit it, but you were darn close to it. Was it really tight out of turn two there for you all night?
Yeah, about probably lap 100. It started getting tight, and I just kept playing with that weight jacker trying to get my turn. And after that pit stop, I finally just set it up to, I think I had it at 11, and I was just running laps, and I was finally able to run Edwin down.
Yeah, that was an awesome battle because you were as far back as I think it was like 4 seconds, 5 seconds at one time, and the next thing I know, you were coming, and I was like, oh, Edwin's in fuel save mode. Here comes Corey, and You got to him. I was like, okay, he's being patient. He's waiting the right time. And then you got a run, I think, off a 4, got below him, and he had nothing for you and let you go. And then next thing I know, you were, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds out as he was falling back to Sheridan and battling for second. And then Sheridan ran out. And I was like, oh man, Sheridan pitted a lap later than Edwin. So hopefully his fuel save is working. And it did. It got him to the end. But what a heck of a drive by all you guys. This track provided some fun racing last season that I enjoyed racing in it last year. And it was fun to watch tonight. And again, pretty clean cut, dominant drive by you. And congratulations to you, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jason. Did an awesome job on the broadcast. So awesome, you made Trevor wreck. So
man, I try not to. I love Trevor so much. I feel for him. I want him to make it to the end of some of these races more often than not. I love broadcasting. I love watching and rooting for everybody, but I don't know. Somebody said he pulled because I saw him go down pit road. Did he just say that's it for the night? Did he wreck where I didn't see him wreck? Because I didn't get a notification.
It was under caution. He said he was looking at watching the broadcast, and he ended up going in for damage after he used his fast repair after his spin. And then he said it was like 5 minutes of damage, so he was done.
Man, he was leading the race. Now I feel bad.
Yeah, it sucks. I thought it would be me and him. I didn't really see Edwin up until he started leading, and then I was like, man, I'm not running him down any. It's like I'll gain on him a little bit, and then he'd pull away a little bit. It's just like I didn't think Edwin was that fast, but he put on a heck of a race, and he made it fun.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. You guys had a good battle. That was some fun racing. It was good to see the strategy play out, and again, to know now that you didn't have to worry about saving, that's really a heck of a drive. Well done, well driven, and well earned win here in the IndyCar series. I'm going to give you the floor. Anybody you want to give a thanks to or a shout out to?
Oh yeah, you in the booth, you and Edwin, when you guys up there talking and broadcasting, you guys do an amazing job, and Ben putting this IndyCar thing together. Thanks for this track for sure, especially this week.
Right, and nothing wrong with that, right?
Nothing wrong with that at all. And then my family, they let me do it and let me have fun for a couple hours a night, so I appreciate them. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Everything you do for first gear racing. Can't be more happy with you guys.
I appreciate it. We're glad to have you, and we got bigger and better things coming. We'll be announcing soon to all of our members and all of our fans, and a lot of that works around you too. So really appreciate you, Corey. Appreciate everybody with First Gear that puts in the effort to make this happen, and the admin team and the moderators and all of our members. We've done nothing but grow. February 6th will be our 1-year anniversary. So we're literally just a couple weeks away. And then I think it's the Daytona 500 is on February 7th. So it's the day after we started the league. So we're wrapping up on a full year here, and we've done nothing but grow and have fun and really have some really good races like tonight. So it's I'm super glad to have you with us. And again, congratulations on coming into this IndyCar series at the Milwaukee Mile and whooping some ass. There, I said it. I cussed on live TV or live broadcast for everybody. I know y'all have been waiting for it for a while. I waited till week 8 of the IndyCar series. Next week, IndyCars go to Watkins Glen, a little road course racing. I'm hoping Edwin will let me race that one just because I love Watkins Glen. And we'll be back live this Wednesday night. GT3 series. Where are we gonna be? Where are we at this Wednesday? Gosh, I need to be able to make these calendars where I can read them. Oh, hey, how about that? Indy road course this weekend or this Wednesday for the GT3 series, and then this Saturday we go to Talladega in the Gen 6 Cup Series on Saturday night. But that's it for me, Corey. I'm going to get you back to chat, and we're going to wrap this up. Again, congratulations on the win. Well deserved. Well done tonight.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great night.
All right, you too, buddy. All right, everybody. That is it for us tonight. Again, we will see you next Monday night at Watkins Glen in the IndyCar Series. If you're watching, please make sure to give us a like, share, follow, subscribe, all of it. We appreciate all of you. Until next time, we'll see you.